tribute to those who understand the amazing power of the human spirit. The ones we call brave thinkers. Because it takes courage to achieve a dream. To step forward when others stand still. It takes believing in what's possible. Going for what you love instead of what others say you can or think you should. Brave thinkers are those who fall but rise up again and again and again, refusing to quit. The ones who shine their light beyond the critics. Those who put everything on the line for what they believe in. Those who don't live from a state of, I wish, or I hope, but I am. And those who declare to the world, yes, yes I can. Because for those who are brave enough to believe in their dreams, anything becomes possible.
Hello and welcome to the Live a Life You Love Challenge. My name is Matt Boggs, and I want to officially welcome you to this challenge. It is January 3rd, ladies and gentlemen. It is 9 a.m. on the West Coast, and we are live. Good to see you. I'm glad that you're joining in. And we've got a very cool custom song for you for this challenge. Called Dream Builder Life. It's all about living a life you love. Check out these lyrics here. Dream like you'll be here forever, uncovering treasure. Live like tomorrow's the end because you are limitless. Let's move our bodies a little bit, get the energy going. Check it out. Shake off any fear. Shake off any doubt. Shake off any worry, because this is your year. This is your time. We are ready to go. Go ahead and dust off those arms. You're looking good. I'm glad that you like to have fun. I'm glad you like to have a good time. This challenge is going to be a whole lot of fun together. I invite you to take a nice deep breath in. Bring it down. Beautiful. Another deep breath in. Exhale and go ahead and open that heart chakra. Tap on that heart chakra. Move from your head down into your heart. I want to give some shout outs to those of you on the Facebook group. We've had over 3,500 amazing people around the world in the Facebook group. Let me give you a shout out to those of you who have been telling me where you are tuning in from right now in the Facebook group. Go ahead, chat in where you're tuning in from around the world. I see Karen O'Brien. Right on, Karen. I'm glad you're here. David Rogers in the house, everybody. Right on from Woodland Hills, California. Sabrina Gonder from Spokane, Washington in the house. That is awesome. Brian from Chicago is in the house. Beautiful. Diana from Michigan. Dana also from Michigan. Isla from Texas. They're coming in fast. Lori from Castle Rock, Colorado. Deidre. There it is. Kara from Minnesota. Keisha from Colorado. Helen from Washington, D.C. is in the house. I'm glad you're here. Every single one of you are so glad you're here. We're going to have a great time together. Laura from New Mexico. Lisa from Michigan. Welcome, Lisa. Right on. Juliana from London is in the house, and Mia from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sidoni from Alberta, Canada is in the house. Zia from London, England. Right on. Awesome. Awesome. Well done. So let's go ahead and bring this in for a landing. Right on. We have an amazing production team that's helping us bring you this live. People working behind the scenes to help us bring you this challenge. And I want to introduce myself. My name is Matt Boggs, and I serve as the executive director here for the Brave Thinking Institute. And it is my great privilege and pleasure to be your host for this 5-day challenge. And I'm going to ask the team to go ahead and bring up the PowerPoint for us as we kick this off. And as I said before, we have 3,500 incredible, like-minded people from around the world tuned in. We have over 5,700 people registered for this challenge. And right now, currently 3,500 have already joined the Facebook group. So congratulations if you're in this Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, if you're watching this on YouTube or one of the other streaming platforms, I want you to know where all the action is going to happen is in Facebook. So head over to that Facebook group, get yourself logged in, because that's where the interactions are going to be happening. That's where all of the challenge shares are going to be happening. All the connections are going to be being made. And I want to remind you and just celebrate those of you who have already either posted a video or posted your intention, because what makes these types of challenges really worth it, what makes them really valuable for you, is less the information that's shared. Sure, we're going to share with you some life-changing concepts, but way more what you do with the information. See, challenges, this isn't a class. This is a participation. This is an engagement exercise to help you create the very best year that you've ever had in your life. If you're in for that, if you're in for 2022 being one of the best years you've ever had, quite possibly the best year you've ever created, if you're in for that, I invite you to touch your heart right now and say, I'm in. Say, I'm really in. Beautiful, because that possibility absolutely exists. No matter what your history has been, no matter what you've been through in 2021, no matter what's transpired, we have a fresh start right here, right now, to create something absolutely extraordinary. So as we kick this off here, we are in day 1 of our 5-day challenge. And again, my name is Matt Boggs. I'm the executive director of the Brave Thinking Institute and also one of the co-founders. And if you're new to the Brave Thinking Institute, our mission is right here. It is empowering people to create and live a life they love. And that means empowering you to create and live a life you love. And that's what these next 5 days are all about. And I have the privilege of being joined by this amazing woman, Jennifer Jimenez. She's also a co-founder here at the Brave Thinking Institute. She also happens to be my amazing sister. And so we are teaming up to bring you this challenge, because I will lead our morning sessions, depending on, of course, where you are in the world. In the West Coast of the United States, we're here in the morning. So I'll bring you our morning sessions. And then in the evening, Jennifer Jimenez just happens to be an incredible, world-renowned mind, body, and spirit expert at integrating these concepts so that you not only know about them, but you can be about them. Your life can reflect these principles that we're going to uncover to help you create a life you absolutely love. So I highly encourage you to join us for our evening sessions, because there are going to be integration practices that are game changers for you. And we're going to be covering over these 5 days a proven, reliable, repeatable system of transformation that has been developed by this incredible woman. Chances are you know who this woman is, hence why you're here at this challenge. This is Mary Morrissey. She is the founder of the Brave Thinking Institute, and she is quite frankly considered one of the world's premier teachers when it comes to transformation, when it comes to manifestation. And over the last 40 years, she has codified a proven, reliable, repeatable system that literally tens of thousands of people around the world have used to transform their life. People have used this system to transform their health. People have used this system to discover their purpose, what it is that they would love in their life, to transform their career, to increase their income, to increase their time off. They've used this system to attract love or to improve their relationships. And we're going to be unpacking the first phase of this here today. But if you don't know Mary, let me give you a little bit about her background, because she's absolutely extraordinary. And it's important not only to learn what we're going to be learning, but I believe it's important who you learn from is just as important. Now, Mary Morrissey is the best-selling author of 2 books, No Less Than Greatness and Building Your Field of Dreams, which became a PBS special. She has met with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. In fact, the Dalai Lama's office called Mary to help co-convene and co-lead a week-long meeting called the Synthesis Dialogues, where they wanted to bring together world leaders to discuss solutions to the most difficult and daunting challenges that we're facing our planet. And Mary did such a phenomenal job co-leading that meeting that she didn't be invited to lead that meeting once. She led that meeting next to His Holiness the Dalai Lama 3 different times. She's spoken at the United Nations, not once, but 3 different times, next to Mahatma Gandhi's grandchildren and Dr. Martin Luther King's children, as they launched a global movement called the Season for Nonviolence. Mary has built multiple multi-million-dollar businesses, but what I really appreciate about her is that she isn't just focused on financial success. You know, some people, they're really focused on just financial success and financial abundance. And while that is beautiful, and while that is lovely to have an abundance of financial resources, you and I both know that's one small sliver of what creates a life that you absolutely love. Mary really believes in full spectrum success, which is success in your relationships, having meaningful, fulfilling relationships, success in your health. So you're vibrant, you wake up energized, you wake up ready to give your best to that day. Success in philanthropy and giving to something that's greater than just yourself. Success in all the areas that matter to you, and time and money freedom. And so that's what we're going to be exploring over these 5 days together. And what I think is really special about Mary is, and not just short-term success, right? A lot of people, they want success, but they don't keep in mind, well, what does it take to create not just short-term success, but long-term success? Success that has staying power. My guess is that's the kind of success that you want. You want staying power. You want to fall in love with your life, not just today, not just this week, not just this month or this year, but for years to come, that you would love a life that you love for many, many years until you take your last breath. That's what I'm guessing, because that's what I want for my life. And this is a woman who knows how to create that kind of success. She's been studying. She actually just celebrated her 50th year of studying transformational principles. So think about that for a moment. This woman has been studying transformational principles long before the personal development industry even existed. She helped forge the personal development industry before you could find personal development or transformational books on Amazon, long before Amazon even existed, long before there were any sort of categories like personal development in Barnes and Noble. And she's been teaching these principles for over 40 years. When a gentleman of mine, a friend of mine, talked about just how immense of an accomplishment that is, when you think about the preeminent teachers who've been teaching transformation for over 40 years, alive, at the top of their game, still in this industry, you can count them on one hand. And this woman is one of them. She's absolutely incredible. And so as we get ready for our challenge right now, I invite you to bring your full presence to this moment. You and I have 1 hour together. I'm going to pour into you as much as we possibly can in this hour together. So I invite you to turn off your distractions for yourself, for your dream, for your life. Bring your full presence to this moment. Close the doors, have a piece of paper, have a pen for some notes. We're going to be going over some very powerful concepts together. And then also participate fully. So that means I'm going to be doing call and response. Get into this Facebook group, chat in, be ready to participate. Have the feed up, have the Facebook link up so you can post in there as well. And then also, I just want to, again, celebrate those of you who've been participating. And we went in and selected a few of you who participated, because it is the amount that you bring to this challenge will be directly proportional to what you get out as value. So I just want to highlight a few of you who have already posted. You posted early. This is Julie Calloway. And Julie writes, "Hi, everyone. I am from Devon in the UK. I am very excited to join this lovely group. I hope to find clarity and to focus to frame my purpose and my why in life." I love that, Julie. I'm glad you're here. And we have Lisa who writes, "Hello, I'm Lisa from snowy Colorado. I'm excited to be part of this group and challenge. I have followed Mary and her team for many years and still learn something new with each interaction." I love that, Lisa. We've got Dimitri. Dimitri says, "Thanks for accepting and hello from Moldova. Wonderful people you are. I hope to learn how to better help people in need and facilitate groups and look for ways to increase personal empathy." I love that, Dimitri. That's a beautiful post. And then Don says, "Preparing to live my dream life by participating in this challenge and the Brave Thinking Conference in a few weeks." Yes, there's a beautiful event happening in a couple of weeks. "Making decisions that are in my own best interest rather than putting all others first." Let's go 2022. Right on, Don. Let's go 2022. And that includes putting your own self first, not just everyone else's needs first. And I hope that's why you're here as well. Right on. All right. So, question, how are you feeling about the new year? Go ahead and chat it in here. Chat it into Facebook. How are you feeling about this new year? Because chances are, when we cross a threshold like the brand new year, I was telling my daughter what a new year was. I have 3 kids. So I have a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 3-year-old. And I was teaching them what it means and why we celebrate the new year, that you and I have been on this amazing blue ball we call it planet Earth, is traveling around the sun, and you and I have survived the last 365 days. And that in and of itself is pretty spectacular. Any day above ground is a great day, and you and I are here. And so when we celebrate this new year, it's celebrate life itself. It's celebrating that we have the gift of this beautiful day that's never been lived before and will never be lived again, and that we've just completed these 365 days of this last year. And so I see, beautiful. Let me go in here and check this out. Judy saying hopeful and healthy. Carol Green saying thankful for this new year. Alicia Marie, hey Alicia, good to see you. Saying I'm feeling way better about this year than the last year and way better than I expected. Michelle saying excited for the possibilities. Right on. Jan saying fully good and optimistic. I love that. Beautiful. Kara, excited and open. I love that. Well, here's what's beautiful. The energy you bring to the new year is the exact energy that you're going to get back. You can either choose to bring this optimistic outlook on life, or you can choose to bring a pessimistic outlook on life. And I told my daughter, I said, so we're entering the year 2022 because every time the earth goes around the sun, that's a new year. And so we went for a hike later that day, and she's singing on the hike. She's singing 2022, 2022, 2022. And then I just had this thought and I shared it with her. I said, honey, do you know that it used to be 1995? And I'm thinking about back when I was in high school in 1995. And she goes, Dad, that's when the dinosaurs were here. She's 7 years old. I was like, all right, fair enough. Maybe not quite when the dinosaurs were here, but I know it feels like a long time ago to you. So now, as we look at the new year, while it's wonderful to feel optimistic and excited and hopeful, and as we think about 2021, the year we just came out of, it's natural also to have these types of feelings that rise up for us. You know, the human mind will be tempted to bring up feelings and have us focus on the areas of life that we may have been unfulfilled, or the places where we're thinking, what's next? And there might be some trepidation about the fact that we might not be as clear as we want to be about what's next in this new year and where am I really going and what's ahead for each one of us, right? Or you might be thinking that time is running out. Time might be running out on your dream, a dream to start a new business. You might be feeling like time's running out to find the love of your life or to change your health. You might have feelings of pangs of guilt. 2021, your mind might bring you back to some things you said or did that you feel guilty about, or maybe things you didn't say that you wanted to, or didn't do that you wanted to, that you feel guilty about. But there's a part of you that knows that now creates a window of opportunity, that really every day is a day to wipe the slate clean, to draw a line in the sand and say, today is a fresh day. Today is a new start. And there's a part of you that's looking at how. And so I want you to know if you've got any of these emotions, you're in the right place, because we are going to wipe the slate clean. And we're going to talk about a proven, reliable, repeatable system for creating a life you love. No matter what your history has been, no matter what your past results have been, you have the opportunity right now to create something new. Even if they were good, you had beautiful results in 2021. This is an opportunity to take them even higher. If you've got crap results that you want to get rid of in 2021, we're going to toss those to the side and create something brand new for you, starting right now, right here in this 5-day challenge. So I promise you that we're going to give you everything that we can in this 5 days together. And that the intention is that you leave this week, that Friday evening, when we complete this challenge, you're feeling more alive. This is our intention for you. And I invite you to lean into this. Would you love to feel more alive, to feel more fulfilled? Our intention is that you feel more confident on your plan, on your path forward, on who you are in this world, and the spirit that you're connected to, that you've got a clear path, clear steps forward, that you feel this freedom to choose what it is that you would love, not bound by other people's expectations or opinions, but you have a freedom to express and to be who you are. That you feel inspired and hopeful about the possibilities that lay ahead, and that you are ready. You're ready for the next steps. So if you're in for that, I invite you to touch your heart and say, I'm in, because this is your time. This is your year. Your time is right now. And I promise that we're going to bring you everything that we can in these next 5 days. And know this, we've got a short amount of time together, just 1 hour in the mornings, 1 hour in the evenings with Jennifer Jimenez. And so for some of you who want to take this deeper, you really want an immersive experience, you want to explore these concepts in a much more deep, meaningful way, we have a special invitation for you on day 3. So be in store for that if you want to take this deeper. And I know many, many of you are going to absolutely love what we have in store for you. So let's talk about challenge day 1. The topic of today is the results formula. So now see if you can guess who this picture is here. 2021, the results formula. How do we create a spectacular 2022? Well, check this photo out. This photo is Mary Morrissey in 1967. And in 1967, Mary Morrissey graduated high school. But it wasn't an easy journey for her to graduate high school. You see, she was in midway of her junior year having a high school experience that most kids would dream about. She was the class vice president. She had a lead in the school play. She was getting amazing grades. She had a boyfriend that she was in love with, having a great high school experience. And on spring break, her boyfriend, who was older, he had gone off to college. He came home, and on spring break of her junior year, she gets pregnant. And she tells her mother that she is now pregnant, and her mom weeps for her as if she had died. Because in her mom's eyes, all of her dreams for young Mary were dying now that she was pregnant. So she continues to go to school, but shortly thereafter, the principal calls Mary in and says, Mary, are these rumors I'm hearing about you true? That you are pregnant and married? Oh, I forgot to tell you. So the Mary's parents organized a quick wedding. She goes, you can't be pregnant and not married. You've got to get married. And so Mary married her high school boyfriend. He'd gone off to college boyfriend. They had a little hasty 10-person wedding. And so kind of trajectory, firing her into this next level of her life, pregnant, married, now going to high school. And so the principal calls her in and says, hey, are these rumors I'm hearing true that you got pregnant and then married and in that order? And Mary says, yes. And he just puts his face in his hands and he says, Mary, you've got amazing academics. You're an amazing student here, but unfortunately you cannot continue to attend this school. We can't let a pregnant girl get mixed in with all of the normal girls. This is 1966 back then. And so Mary was relegated to attending school at night with the other pregnant girls and delinquent boys. And so Mary graduates, gives birth to her son in December, and then graduates high school that next May in 1967. And then within a month or two, Mary is lying in the intensive care ward of a hospital, having been diagnosed with fatal kidney disease. Fatal kidney disease. This is before dialysis. This is before kidney transplants. And so the doctors are telling her that she's got 6 months to live. And that's it. So put yourself in Mary's scenario for a moment. All the experts, all the doctors telling you you've got 6 months to live and that's it. And there's no cure, there's no remedy, there's nothing else that they can do for you. They tell her that they're going to give her a surgery, because without the surgery, her lifespan will be much less. If they can get the toxicity in her level of her blood toxins down enough by removing both kidneys were being attacked by what's called nephritis. One was completely destroyed, one kidney completely destroyed. The other was about 50% destroyed. So they're trying to get the kidney that had been completely destroyed out. So imagine how you would feel in that moment. I'm going to have our Joshua, our producer, play a video. And there's a short video of Mary describing what it was like to be in that hospital. But more importantly, one idea that completely changed her life. Watch this.
I'm in intensive care with a diagnosis of fatal kidney disease, not serious kidney disease, fatal kidney disease. One kidney was totally destroyed with nephritis. The other kidney was 50% destroyed with active nephritis. And in 1967, this is a death sentence. There's no dialysis, there's no transplants. And I'm 18 years old. I've got a 7-month-old son. Everyone is so sad and sorry. All of the MDs and the people in the white coats and the nurses, but they have nothing they can do to help me. And so they come to one of the physicians, the surgeon comes to me and says, we've decided that if we can get the blood toxin level in your body reduced enough so you can sustain a surgery to remove that right kidney, maybe you'll have 6 months to live. I'm terrified. I'm thinking the best shot I have is 6 months. I may never see my little boy even walk, let alone go to kindergarten. And the God of my upbringing was not a friendly place to go when you felt like you had really screwed up. Surely I had really screwed up because I got kicked out of high school. I was sent to a school with delinquents. I was, now I'm being punished. I was punished there for being a bad girl. And my best friends that we'd grown up since 4th grade together, a group of 4 of us. The other 3 mothers got together and decided their girls could no longer see me after I got pregnant, because I think it was almost as if what I had might be contagious. So I lost my friends, I lost my school, and now I'm going to lose my life. The night before the surgery was scheduled, a woman walked in my room. And she identified herself as a chaplain offering prayer for people who are going to have surgery the next day. She said, I come 3 or 4 times a week. I'm given a list in the order of the most serious surgeries. Your name's at the top. Would you like someone to pray with you? I was scared and I said, okay. She then did something that I had never, ever identified or seen as prayer. She pulled her chair next to my bed and she said, Mary, would you be willing to tell me what's been going on in your life the last year or 2? So I told her my story. At the end of which she looked at me compassionately and she said, Mary, everything's created twice. Today I would say I have no landing page for that. I had no landing page for that. I didn't know what she was talking about. Everything's created twice. And then she said, you actually know this. In fact, everybody knows this, but almost nobody knows the power of knowing this. The bed you're laying on, the nightgown you're wearing, the sheet covering you, the walls, the ceiling, the floor, the machinery, all the machinery you're hooked up to. First, it had to be a thought before it could be a thing. This is true about everything. Then she said, I hear how much you love your little boy, but I also hear how much you've been hating yourself. You feel like you shamed your school, you shamed your family, and you shamed yourself. And now that you're thinking how everything's created twice, could there be a correlation between that toxic thinking and the toxicity that's rampaging your body and threatening your very life? Nobody I knew thought this way. Nobody I knew thought this way. And then she said, you know that if you think embarrassing thoughts, your cheeks get red. You know that if you think scary enough thoughts, your heart beats faster. couldn't it be that if you think enough toxic thoughts, your body gets toxic? Again, nobody I knew thought this way. And then she said, could you believe it's possible that we could do a prayer or say some words, and in the morning when they come to get you and take you to surgery, they look at you and they say, well, you look better. We better test you. And then they test you and they say, my gosh, we see no evidence of that disease. We're going to send you home. Could you believe that's possible? And I told her the truth. No, there wasn't one part of me that believed she was going to say some words. And I mean, I had been in so much pain, and it was a very real experience, and that she was going to say some words and it was going to evaporate. There wasn't one part of me that could believe that was true. She says, all right, well, how about this? Could you believe it's possible? And I want you to think about, you're dealing with an infinite universe, infinite. Could it be in all of this, there could be one possibility, just every possibility exists. Couldn't you agree that there could be one possibility where we could say some words? They would take the kidney. And over the next few weeks, instead of getting worse, you actually got better and better and better, to the point that eventually they said, you have no more kidney disease. Could that be possible? And interestingly, in that moment, I didn't really believe it. I believed way more in what over time, the MDs who were helping me, I believed way more. I've been trained to believe that they were a form of God. They knew all the answers. And she said, could you believe it's possible? In that moment, I could tell she believed it. And probably for the first time of my life, I borrowed someone else's belief that was operating on a higher domain or frequency than mine. And I said in that moment, I don't know if it's probable, but maybe it's possible. And she latched onto that and she said, that's all we need. One corner of your mind open to the possibility.
That's all we need. One corner of your mind open to the possibility. That's a clue for you and I. That's a clue in how we create extraordinary results, because you right now are connected to an infinite number of possibilities for your life. An infinite number of possibilities exist right now for 2022. So what would you love? What possibility would you absolutely love if it were impossible to fail? If you could create anything? And just consider for the moment, as you dream into creating some magnificent results, notice the part of us that tries to dial down the results, because there's a part of us that says, well, that's not possible, so maybe I would love this. Or I can't really have that with what's going on in my life, so maybe I should have this. And there's a part of us that likes to dampen or dial down what we would really love for our lives, because we're tuned into what other people think are possible, or the part of us that doesn't quite believe. But know this, the reason why I wanted to share this particular story of Mary's journey with you is because here Mary is being given a diagnosis that all the medical doctors around her, the best thinkers in the world at the time, are telling her that she's got 6 months to live and there's nothing else, no other possibility exists. One woman comes into her room and tells her there's another possibility that can happen for you. You could have a healing here. Do you believe it's possible? And Mary's honest with her in that moment. I love this moment. Mary says, no, I don't believe it's possible. All these doctors are telling it's impossible. And she goes, do you believe I believe it's possible? And Mary says, yes, I believe you believe. One corner of your mind open to a possibility. That's all she needed in that moment. And so then that chaplain taught Mary a beautiful process. And part of that process was for Mary to begin imagining, if she did live, what would she do with that health? What would she do with her life? What would she do that would feel more life-giving to her? And so Mary developed a few images of a possibility that she would love. And she goes, well, if I did live, my dream would be to be a teacher. I've always wanted to be a teacher, she said. And so she said, what image would represent you being a teacher? And she goes, well, I would love to raise my little boy and take him to school. And so here's a beautiful image that I would imagine myself walking him to school. And the chaplain helped her build not just an image of this, but a crystal clear picture, almost an experience of her living the life that she wanted. And so the first picture was Mary walking down the hallway of an elementary school with her little boy who's 5 years old, going to his first day of kindergarten. She can feel his little warm hand in hers, and she can hear the click, click, click of her heels as she walks down the hallway. And she takes him to his first day of kindergarten. She kisses him and she sends him off. She continues to walk down the hallway and takes a right, and there's her classroom. And she's teaching fourth graders. In her mind, this is her dream. And then fast forward, and her son is now graduating high school. And Mary's imagining herself at his high school graduation, imagining being there, cheering her son for graduating high school. And then she fast forward in her mind and she imagines sitting in the front row of his wedding. And her son is getting married to the love of his life. And Mary's there celebrating them and honoring them. And so she began to rehearse these images in her mind over and over and over again. And the next morning, Mary went into surgery. The doctors removed one kidney that had been completely destroyed by nephritis. The second kidney, they said, didn't look quite as bad as they thought, but time would tell. And she probably has around 6 months to live, maybe a little longer. But as Mary continued to imagine these images in her mind and do the other practices that the chaplain had taught her, her numbers started to improve, which was shocking to the doctors. And her numbers got better and better and better and better until the doctors told her, well, you could go home, but we got to monitor you. And her numbers got better and better and better until that second kidney had completely regenerated itself. The doctors brought her in and said, we don't know what's happened with you. We're going to write on your chart medical anomaly because we have no science to describe what's happened for you. But whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And that created a thirsty sponge out of Mary. She wanted to learn everything that she could about what had happened, what had saved her life, what was this transformative power that she got connected to, tuned into, that created this incredible result for her life. And Mary was able to walk her son to school on his first day of kindergarten. She was able to teach her own grade school class of fourth graders. She was able to watch her son graduate high school, and she was able to sit in the front row of his wedding. And I'm very, very grateful that that chaplain came in and showed Mary that first system of transformation, and that Mary began to use those ideas and expand upon those ideas and develop those ideas into life-changing principles that literally tens of thousands of people have used around the world. Because if that chaplain hadn't shown up, if Mary hadn't done that, I wouldn't be alive today, because I'm blessed to be Mary's youngest son. And that little boy that she walked to grade school that day, first day of kindergarten, is my oldest brother, John. And so everything is created twice, first as a thought and then as a thing. And here Mary is with her 4 kids. There's John on the right. I'm next to John. Jennifer, our sister, is there in the white. And then Rich is on the left. And so you're going to hear from Jennifer again tonight. And we all work together in this beautiful family business. And I feel very blessed to be a part of this journey with every one of them. But I want to underscore the power of this story. No matter what possibility you're dreaming up for 2022, it doesn't matter if there's a part of you who thinks it's impossible, or if other people think it's impossible, or if nobody has ever done it before. If you're dreaming up that possibility, if one corner of your mind is open to that possibility, then that's room enough. We can work with that. We can harvest that, harness that, and begin to expand that into a beautiful result called a life that you love living. And that's exactly what Mary Morrissey did right here. And so let's unpack this. Mary turned fatal kidney disease into a possibility of health using these principles. And so we are going to take negative thoughts, because everything is created twice. Negative thoughts create negative results, into some possibility thoughts, dreaming up a possibility. So let me ask you this. Go ahead and chat in the Facebook group right now. What's one possibility you would love for your life? One possibility that you would love for 2022. Go ahead and chat that into the Facebook group. And remember that thoughts are things. Everything you're thought, the thoughts we think, reproduce after their kind. And so Mary is going to share with us the beginnings of what's called the results formula. So we talk about how do we create this possibility? Well, it starts by understanding, how do we create every single result that we have in our life right now? How have we created the current results that we're experiencing right now? Well, the results formula gives us a very simple model for how to understand how we create the results we experience. Watch this.
For a moment, let's take a look at what causes the results we have. You don't get to not create results because you're thinking. You're a being, a spiritual being, interacting and transacting with this invisible energy that's everywhere present. It is intelligent and responsive, exactly at the frequency you're broadcasting, in the same way you see it with your television. Tuned to a specific frequency, that's the program you're going to see. Most humans have no idea they're doing it, and sadly, almost everybody lives and dies and never knows about this. But those who stumble onto, either consciously or unconsciously, how to transact with the infinite side of their nature, ordinary people at many levels, and yet they produce extraordinary results. And that can be you. So the cause of our results, we're going to be thinking thoughts. Those thoughts have a frequency to them. They're either expansive or contractive. Our thoughts have a frequency. So imagine for a moment what's true about you. You have a brain that has two hemispheres to it, connected through this connective tissue called the corpus callosum, a literal and imaginative, or right brain, left brain. Around your brain, there is a fluid that goes not only around your brain, but is communicated and connected to your entire body through what's called your nervous system. It connects and communicates throughout your entire spine, sending the vibration it picks up here throughout your entire system. Hence, if I'm thinking fearful thoughts, my body's going to reflect that with a feeling I call anxiety. There could be nothing going on except in my imagination. I'm imagining something that could go wrong or be scary, and my body will reflect it as if it's actually happening. I could just as well think of possibilities of something that could, oh my gosh, what if, and you find yourself feeling lifted up and expansive because of the thoughts we're thinking. Your thoughts have power to them. Your thoughts generate your feelings, and your feelings dictate the actions you will or will not take. And those actions, of course, generate our results.
So here it is, the cause of our results, the results formula. Your thoughts create your feelings. And on many levels, you know this. You know that if you think scary thoughts, your heart's going to race. You're going to feel fear. If you think sad thoughts, you start to feel sad. You can even cause yourself to cry by dwelling on sad thoughts. Think thoughts of possibility, thoughts of the way things are going to work out. You're going to feel an increase in energy, an expansion of energy. You think happy thoughts, you feel happy. Think grateful thoughts, you feel grateful. Now, these thoughts have to be expressed into our actions by law. And so imagine right now, or even better yet, put on the body language of someone who feels depressed. Go ahead and act it out right now. If someone feels depressed, what's going on with their body? Chances are you've hunched your shoulders, or you look down, or you kind of bring your body like this. Every culture, doesn't matter the continent on the planet, you ask people who are feeling depressed, you look at their body language, that's exactly what happens. Their shoulders hunch over, they lower their eyes, their voice goes down in volume. On the other hand, put on the body language of someone who is confident, someone who's happy, someone who's full of life. Chances are they stand up, they raise their chest, their shoulders go back, their volume goes up. There's an excitement in the air of what's happening for them, right? Your feelings naturally get expressed into your actions, and it's your actions that cause your results. The law of cause and effects, thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. The law of cause and effects. Now, the first cause of this is right here, your thoughts. The thoughts are the first cause of the results that we're experiencing. But most people don't look at it that way. Most people look at their results, and they will call their results their cause. But they're actually too smart for that. They won't do that. They'll call it their because. They'll look at their bank account result, and they'll say, I can't launch the new business because I don't have enough money. They'll look at their love life result, and they'll say, I can't be happy in my relationship because my spouse is the way that they are, or I can't attract the love of my life because I'm the age that I am, or I'm not attractive enough, or I live in the wrong area, or everyone who's great is already taken, right? Or I can't have the health that I want because of my body or the way that it is, or the physical challenge that I'm going through right now. They'll look at their current results and call those the causes. That's what the doctors did. Mary, you can't live longer because your kidney nephritis is rampaging your body. They looked at the cause and they said, you're just going to get more of that. What is the cause? What is the results that we've currently got right now? What is that? It's the past summation of everything you've thought, felt, or done up until now. And that's the good news. That's the good news. Your bank account, your health, your relationships, your time and money freedom, all of that is one thing. It is the accumulation of everything you've thought, felt, and done up until now. And the cool part is the moment you begin to shift your thinking, the moment you begin to shift your state of being and how you feel, the moment you begin to shift what you're doing, you begin manifesting new results. Now, so many people get trapped in the land of circumstances saying things can't change because they've been this way for so long that they aren't aware of the power that's been bestowed to them to say, no, you can create anything that you want. The moment you begin to think a new thought, feel a new feeling, take a new action, you begin to make deposits in the bank account of manifestation to bring about new results. And that's exactly what's possible for you. When you're dreaming up a possibility, it's about staying aligned in thought, feeling, and action with that possibility. So you've got some results here, current results that you've got in your life. And chances are you have some longing or discontent around those current results. This longing and this content, this is spirit speaking to you. It's spirit. You're connected to an infinite presence, your higher power. And it speaks to you through these two signals from your soul, this longing for something more or this discontent with the way things are. So it's very important to get in touch with that longing and that discontent because that becomes fuel to help you create what it is that you want in 2022. So let's take an assessment right now. And health and well-being, love and relationships, vocation, and time and money freedom. These are 4 domains of life. And so let's do an assessment on these 4 domains of life. And when you think about these 4 domains on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being it's optimum, you're rocking it in that area. It's phenomenal. That's a level 5. 1 being it sucks. You want to change it bad. You're really disheartened, dissatisfied, unfulfilled with that area of your life. Let's do an assessment. So you're longing and discontent in the area of health and well-being. On a scale of 1 to 5 right now, in your journal, go ahead and give yourself a score. Where are you in health and well-being? When it comes to your energy levels, when it comes to your sleeping, when it comes to you being able to do what you would love to do, go where you want to go, do the activities you want. Number 1 is the lowest. Number 5 is the highest. Go ahead and give yourself a rating there. And you don't have to post this in the Facebook group. This is just for you, between you and yourself. Let's take a look at love and relationships. A relationship with your primary romantic relationship, maybe your friendships or your family relationships on a scale of 1 to 5. How you doing right now? What's a current assessment? This is without judgment. This is just honest eyes looking at this saying, where are you? 5 is they're awesome. 1 is horrible. Where are you? Vocation. In your vocation. How your calling, your vocare in the world, the work you do, how fulfilled are you in your vocation? On a scale of 1 to 5, go ahead and put it in here, 1 to 5. Give yourself a score. Do you wake up? Do you love what you do? Do you wake up excited for work? Do you feel fulfilled knowing that what you do matters to other people? It matters to you. Where are you on that scale? And then lastly, time and money freedom. Time and money freedom, your ability to be able to have what you want to have, do what you want to do, more importantly, give what you want to give in this world. On a scale of 1 to 10, or excuse me, 1 to 5 rather, 5 being great, you've got plenty of resources, time and money to give and go and do what you would love. 1 is you feel stuck, not much freedom at all. time and money freedom. Where are you? Go ahead and put a number down. And now, question for you. Of these four, whoops, let me go back. One. Of these four, for these 5 days, we're going to focus in on one. Pick one burning area, your health, your love, your vocation or your career, or time and money freedom. Pick one of those. It might be the one that you scored the lowest, or it might just be the one you want to improve the most. But focus on one. Go ahead and write that down in your journal there. And ask yourself this question. Because as human beings, we're wired up to move in the direction of pleasure and away from pain. And when we change in life, listen to this principle here. When we change, when you and I change, is where the pain of the current circumstance becomes greater than the pain of change. There are going to be some uncomfortable things for us to create the results that we want, to have the dreams, the goals, the success, the freedom, the love that we want in our lives. There's going to be some pain or some you might call it being uncomfortable, facing fear, doing things that might not be easy at first, right? Touch your heart, say yes if you know what I'm talking about right now. The reason people change is when the pain of their current circumstance is so great that they're willing to endure whatever the uncomfortable part of growing is. So it really helps to ramp up the pain of our current circumstance. That helps gives us fuel to grow. So questions that we can ask ourselves to help stoke that pain of our current circumstances. How long has this area of your life been this way? Be real honest with yourself. Has it been this way for a year? Has it been this way for 5 years, for a decade, for longer? How long has it been this way? Go ahead and write it down. How long has it been this way? And then next is, what is it costing you? What is having this result this way in your life costing you? There were years when I wanted to transform my health, and I was working out, my diet wasn't on point, and I just felt like I was doing this roller coaster. Like I'd get kind of healthy, and then I'd pop back up, and I'd get healthy, and I'd pop back up, and I just was going on this cycle. And I was finally like, enough is enough. It was 7 years of going on that cycle, and it was costing me feeling proud of myself, costing me feeling fulfilled, costing me feeling good in my own body, costing me energy. It was costing me dates with my wife because I would be too tired after work to go on dates with my wife. It was costing me my relationship and joy, costing me all kinds of things before I finally said, enough is enough. I put a line in the sand and say, I am not going back to that old way of being. And I changed my life. I changed my diet. I changed my exercise routine. And I lost 28 pounds and have kept it off for 7 years and have way more energy and way more vibrance and a way better date nights with my wife because of that decision in that moment. So for you, what is it costing you? Is it costing you relationships? Is it costing you fulfillment? Is it costing you getting to the end of your life? And if nothing changes, you will be filled with regret, knowing that you didn't do what God put you on this planet to do. You didn't fulfill or follow your calling. Would that be the cost of you not changing this result in your life? What would it be for you? What's the biggest cost? Drop from your head right into your heart and claim that biggest cost for yourself, because that will be energy. That will be motivation for you to shift. Make sure you write that down. And so before I ask you to journal on this next piece here, and we're going to give you 2 minutes to journal, we're going to go about 75 minutes today. So we're going to end about 15 minutes after the hour. And I'm going to give you a very powerful challenge for today that's going to begin to move this energy for you to claim possibility for your life. And so just to orient your minds, about 15 minutes past the hour, that's 10:15 here on the West Coast. But I'm going to give you 2 minutes right now to journal on this. What thoughts have you been thinking about this part of your life? For me, if it was that example of health and well-being, it was thoughts that it's too hard to change. There's no way I could give up the sugar and give up coffee and to give up dairy and the things that I love so much. There'd be no way that I could give those things up to have the health that I wanted. It was, what if I put in all this effort and it doesn't work? some of the thoughts, some of the negative thoughts that I was thinking about that area. What are some of the negative thoughts that you've been thinking about this domain in your life? Let's take 2 minutes right now. I'm going to have Joshua play some journaling music for us. Take 2 minutes, and then we'll move to the next step. Take 10 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, beautiful. Thank you, Joshua. That was beautiful. Good work. Nicely done. All right. So you've journaled on some negative thoughts that you have been thinking, and now select out of that journaling, select 5 negative thoughts about this area of your life. 5 negative thoughts. Go ahead and we'll take 30 more seconds and go ahead and circle the 5 most powerful, pervasive, repetitive thoughts that you tend to think about this area of your life. Because you remember, thoughts become things. Thoughts is the first cause of the results formula. So getting clear about what types of thoughts bubble up, at least negative thoughts that aren't supporting you in growth in this particular area, is a very powerful part of this formula for making the transformation that we want. So go ahead and write down 5 negative thoughts. Negative thoughts might be like, I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. Things like, what if I look like a fool? What if I go after this and I look like a fool? What if I put in all of this energy and it doesn't work out? I don't get the result, and I've wasted all this time and energy going after what it is that I want. What if I do create the success and it just brings more problems? Or it costs me something that I want, like time with my family or my relationship with my kids or another important relationship that I have? What are some of the negative thoughts that come up in your mind when you're thinking about the area of life that you want to transform for yourself? Let's take another, actually, let's do another minute here, Joshua. 1 more minute. Go ahead. We'll play some journaling music while you identify these 5 negative thoughts. All right, good. Make sure you've got those 5 thoughts down. Perfect. And here's what I invite you to do. Go ahead and rip out a journal or have just a regular piece of paper. And I invite you to go ahead and draw a line down the center of that piece of paper and write your 5 negative thoughts down on one side of this piece of paper. Go ahead and write those 5 negative thoughts down on one side of the piece of paper because we're going to be doing something important with this piece of paper. So you can either tear a page out of your journal, draw a line down the center, or grab a fresh sheet right now and draw a line down the center. And in a moment, I'll give you more time to write those 5, but you can go ahead and get a jump start on that if you want. But new results, we want to create some new results for our lives. The first step is to shift our thinking. We've got to start thinking new thoughts in our lives. Scientists have estimated that we have about 100,000 thoughts a day, and 95% of those thoughts are repetitive. Thoughts that we've had over and over and over again. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to use the restroom. I'm going to cook this particular meal for breakfast. I'm going to go to work this particular way. I'm going to kiss my spouse as I leave. Thoughts that you've had before. If you want to create new results, you've got to begin to recognize when we're thinking the thoughts that are leading us down a path that we don't want, thoughts that are connected to a result that we don't want, thoughts that if we entertain, we'll put ourselves in a vibration and then take actions that create results that aren't what we want. We've got to recognize those, interrupt those, and begin to think a thought of possibility, something new for ourselves, a new thought, a new idea. Now, I know some of you have downloaded the PDF. Now, if you have a blank sheet of paper, you can put your thoughts, your negative beliefs on this blank sheet of paper. If you want to download and print out the PDF, you can as well. We've created a PDF of you for this exercise, which is great. PDF for you. So the next step here is, what thought would you think if it all worked out? Imagine right now it is December 2022. It's the end of the year. And this domain of your life is exactly the way that you would love it. What's happened? What's going on? Just like Mary, it all worked out for her. She is walking her little boy to school that day. She's at his high school graduation. She's at the front row of his wedding. What's happening for you at the end of 2022 that would be a demonstration that it all worked out? What thought could you think if it all worked out for you? And on the opposite side of your page here, on this side, write down one possibility thought that is aligned with everything working out. One possibility thought that if you created your ideal result in this main area of your life, you'd love to up-level. Write down one possibility thought if you created your ideal result in this area of your life. So let me just give you one example. One possibility thought might be, I am connected to the infinite, and with God, all things are possible. One possibility thought is, this is what it looks like while it's all working out. One possibility thought is, I have everything I need to bring this dream to life. One possibility thought is, I am enough, I am worthy, and I am equipped. One possibility thought is, what is the possibility thought that's aligned with everything working out? Go ahead and write that down on the right side of that sheet of paper. Go ahead and let's take 1 minute right now. Joshua, play some music for us. Make sure you get your 5 negative thoughts on the left side and your one possibility thought on the right side. I'll just share some of these thoughts as you're coming up with yours. Tom says, I'm headed for everything that I wanted. Beautiful. Rajika, I am resourced and supported. I love that, Rajika. Beautiful. Suryana says, Suryani, excuse me. It says, I am connected to the infinite and that everything is possible. Beautiful. I am equipped. I am able. I am enough. I kept focus and I succeeded at this. Beautiful. I love that one. I am genius. I have everything I need to succeed. I am finding joy in what I do in 2022. I love that one. And the past no longer defines me. Beautiful. Bobby, I am good. Beautiful. I love this. I feel strong. I feel capable. I am free. I love that. I feel good without pain, Pug. I love that. Joshua, keep the music going for a moment. And right now, I invite you to tune into that possibility thought. Tune into the piece of paper, tune into that possibility thought. Imagine releasing, use your imagination to see these negative thoughts dissolving away, seeing them melt away, no longer a part of you, becoming distant, far away, dissolving into nothingness, and see the right side of this page becoming large, becoming vibrant, becoming powerful, and read your statement. What would happen in your mind if this was the dominating thought for you? What would happen in your heart? Imagine you're dropping into your heart, you're feeling this energy of your statement. You are powerful, you are enough. Whatever your statement is that represents the domain of your life, all working out, what would happen in your life? I invite you to close your eyes and see it. What would be happening in your life? How open would your heart be? How fulfilled would you be? What would your energy be like? What would your face be doing? Would you be smiling? What would your arms be doing? What would life be like if this was the result? It all worked out. It all unfolded just the way that you're dreaming of. What would happen for you? Allow your heart to expand with this result. Allow your heart to feel it. What would your joy be like? Your happiness? What would your relationships be like? How rich would they be? How fulfilled and on purpose would you be? What would your energy levels be like? That's all we need. One corner of your mind open to the possibility. It doesn't matter what your history has been. It doesn't matter how long it's been that way. It doesn't matter how many other people agree with those facts. This possibility exists for you because you are an infinite spiritual being connected to the infinite, connected to your higher power, connected to infinite possibilities. And you don't even have to know how at this moment that is going to come to pass because you're connected to an intelligence that knows exactly how to bring about this dream. But you do need to tune in to the possibility that you would love. And you do need to tune in to a new thought that you're willing to think, to begin like a domino effect, to create a ripple of new results that will begin to come manifest in your life. It might not happen overnight. It might not happen within 1 week, but it begins to create change. This big momentum of change begins to take place in your life now the moment you begin to think this new thought. So I invite you to take a deep breath in. And feel this result in your heart. Feel what this thought feels like, out pictured, fully expressed in your life. Feel it now. Beautiful. You're doing fantastic work. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Take a deep breath with me. Go ahead, Joshua. Go ahead and bring the music down. And I've got a challenge for you that we're going to do with this sheet of paper to help put an exclamation point on this first day and help drive home these principles that we've just talked about. But first, let's do a recap because we are transforming doubt. The doubt that things can be different. We're transforming that into your dreams for 2022. we're creating a beautiful new result. So to remind ourselves that thoughts are things, the things you think about, the thoughts that you think about become replicated in your life, because thoughts are the first cause in our results formula. And when you begin to think a new thought, you generate a new vibration, a new feeling. That feeling becomes expressed into new actions, new decisions. And those new actions and new decisions create new results for your life. This is what I like to call a small hinge that swings a very big door. This small hinge is the difference between choosing to think a negative thought versus choosing to think a thought of possibility. That absolutely changes your life. This is what transformed Mary's health. But it wasn't just this. It was this plus putting the pieces of the puzzle together, staying committed to this. And the first decision is the decision to stay awake and aware to when those negative thoughts come up. So your challenge for day one, this day, here is your challenge. Pay attention to the thoughts. And when a negative thought comes up, like, oh, that wouldn't work out, or oh, that was nice for Mary, but it won't work out for me, interrupt those negative thoughts and come back to your thought of possibility. You've already written down your 5 negative thoughts. Good work. You've already written down your 1 possibility thought. And so here's what I encourage you to do. Don't do this yet, but I encourage you to go into the Facebook group and record a video of yourself. And if you're willing, share your negative thoughts. Say, these are the old thoughts of the past. They were, I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. What if I look like a fool going after this? What if this success brings me more problems, that I'm going to put in all this effort and energy and it's not going to pay off, or I can never get unstuck? That's in the past. And then you rip the page in half and you tear up those negative thoughts and you say, no more. This is in the past. And you toss them in the trash and you say, here's what I'm claiming for my life. Here's my possibility thought. I am connected to the infinite. And with God, all things are possible. I am connected to the infinite, and with God, all things are possible. This was my possibility thought. You'll read your possibility thought. Claim that, own that for yourself, allow your feelings to generate that, and give that gift to the other partners you have here in this Facebook group. We have 35 amazing souls in this Facebook group. Let's fill this Facebook group with eliminating the negative and pouring ideas of what's possible for you in this Facebook group. So my challenge for you is to do it right now. We're going to end just a couple minutes early here, 3 minutes before the 5th. I said we were going to end at 12:15. It's 10:15. It's 10:12 right now. So my encouragement is to right now go into the Facebook group, record a video. It doesn't matter if your hair's done. It doesn't matter if your makeup's right. Don't let that stuff stand in your way. Claim it right now. Go into the Facebook group, name your negative beliefs, rip it up, say that was then, and say this is now, and then claim your possibility belief. Speak that possibility for your life, for yourself, and for your Facebook colleagues here in this group. And then my encouragement is go in and cheer some other people on. Comment under their video. When they've claimed their possibility for themselves, say, you go, congratulations, great work, good job. Because the positive momentum that we can create in this Facebook challenge is absolutely extraordinary. When you share your video and you comment on a bunch of other people's videos, and then you come back and you watch your other video and you see that you've been cheered on by a bunch of people, that is an extraordinary experience. So for the rest of today, focus on that possibility thought. Post your video, rip up the negative, and focus on your possibility thought. And then this evening, Jennifer Jimenez, there you go, challenge accepted. I hope you accept the challenge. This evening, Jennifer Jimenez is going to continue and help you integrate this possibility in your heart, mind, and soul in an entirely deeper way. You're going to love this evening session. It begins at 5 p.m. Pacific time, right back here in this Facebook group. She's going to be walking you through an experience to support you in releasing those negative thoughts even more, and the blocks that prevent you from achieving the new results and claiming that possibility for your life. And then tomorrow, day 2, 9 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to be talking about this number 1 secret signal the most successful people in the world pay attention to, that helps them create their success and helps them create a life they love living, so that you can use that same tool to help you create a life that you love living. So again, my name is Matt Boggs. It has been a privilege to serve you in the Live a Life You Love Challenge. This is day one, and this is your moment to go in and accomplish your challenge. Rip up those negative beliefs, claim that possibility thought. Do that now in your Facebook group. And I'm looking forward to seeing you live tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and seeing all of you tonight at 5 p.m. for Jennifer Jimenez's session. Have a great rest of your day, everyone, and I will see you soon.